where legends collide. Got my friends beside me, we're ready to ride. With every step we take, we're feeling alive. Fearless in the epic, together we thrive. We're fearless, we're bold, chasing dreams, breaking the mold. With every fight we rise and shine in this game. We're one of a kind. From the jungle to lanes, we're making our mark. With strategies tight, we're igniting the spark. Enemy we'll conquer it all. No fear in our hearts, just the thrill of the game. In this epic journey, we'll rise to fame. We're fearless, we're bold, chasing dreams, breaking the mold. With every fight, we rise and shine in this game. We're one of a kind. Chasing dreams, breaking the mold. With every fight, we rise and shine in this game. We're one of a kind. We're fearless, we're bold, chasing dreams, breaking the mold. With every fight, we rise and
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back on the casting desk, and not only am I here, we're joined by the one and only one of the foul play owners themselves, John, on this side of me. There we go.
Good evening. Good evening.
Oh, I mean, we're in for a great matchup here. Between Elo Submarine and Nessies Kittens. Elo Submarine, they've had a rough start to the season of Fearless. It's been quite a challenge for them, not managing to get a win so far. However, I know they've been working behind the scenes to try and resolve matters. Whereas Nessie's Kittens, they've made hard work of it, taking it to 3 games in both series so far.
Have they definitely taken it to 3 games? I'm just looking at the stats now. It looks like against Metacultists they went 2-0.
I could be wrong. There's been that many games. I've lost track.
I got their stats up here. Oh, sorry. Metacultists looks like 2-1. Sorry, Metacultists 2-0, Furious 5 2-1.
Yes, you're right. Yes, they went 2-0 on. It was actually yesterday. I can't believe I got it wrong when I was the one working the tech behind that. Anyway, so they are a 1-2-1, a 2-0. It was quite a considerable win yesterday. The thing I do remember from this series is Nessie took a lot of the kills.
Was that on the? No, it wasn't the Rel game.
Yeah, so there was an AP Rel,
it was,
and
yeah.
I believe there was also an AP Rakan.
The AP Rakan, that one really surprised me. Because I've tried AP Rakan before a long time ago, and I don't know if things have changed recently that somehow made it viable now, but it was not very good. I tried it.
It really depends on the matchup, I think, and I'm intrigued to see if we see that here. I mean, I don't know if you remember from season 2 of Fearless in the lower bracket. In the mid lane, Jason was known as Mr. Fearless. But with the rough start they've had, I'd be like to see him just pick team knows and he can rely on. I think that's the key to their victory today, is just pick champs that they can play. IO in the top lane, we know he can perform on any day. But he's up against one of his rivals from the lower bracket last season, Crunkside. And that was always a good game when they two came up against each other.
Yeah, and just going back to that, Mr. Fearless himself, I can't remember the stats exactly, but I do feel like he was maybe 1 or 2 games off full Fearless.
Yeah, I think it was right up until the finals. He was on full.
I'm trying to find his stats now.
Yeah. It was pretty much fully Fearless the whole regular season, and it wasn't until the finals that we saw him pick something he'd already picked up before. I kind of want to see him.
Was he in lower?
This was in lower, yeah, lower season 2. So I'd kind of like to see him go back to just picking champs he knows that is reliable, because that way he doesn't have to worry about
Yeah,
the
just looking at his pool now, it looks like he picked the champs. So obviously the champs that he favors, or the champs that he had some favorable matchups in, would be Ari, which he picked 3 times, Syndra, which he picked twice, and Annie, which he picked 3 times. So they're either some comfort picks for him, or they were just good in the matchup, in the specific matchup. You got to think they'd be good in the matchup because he can seems he can play pretty much any champ. So yeah,
definitely indeed. So
you're
bit
not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to. You probably want to be able to. You probably want to counter pick him
yeah.
because and if you don't, he is going to counter pick you.
Well, that's the plan anyway. But we've seen in this mid lane, Curly, again, someone who season one was really solid in the lower bracket, went up to higher bracket last season and made a good name for himself. He was there and thereabouts. He took some names. He was the MVP in his first ever game in this upper bracket. With the rank adaptation we've done, he's moved to the middle bracket and he's really finding his ground there. Really strong performances in the previous seasons and the previous matches. But just as a team, Nessie's Kittens seem to have it all together. It just works for them right now. So it'll be interesting to see if the Elo Submarines can torpedo that.
And I can't say anything about Curly. He played Xerath one game last season.
There we go.
That's a win in my book.
Well, that's just it. Do you want to see a Xerath? Do you want to see a Xerath today? Do you think we'll see a Xerath?
I don't think so. I feel like it's a very sort of specific pick these days, where it's not something. I guess it all depends on
the matchup. Yeah,
it's just such an immobile champion.
Yeah, I mean, you were telling me earlier you've basically not seen a lot of League up to this point because you've been so busy with your new game, obviously, which is out on your wish list on Steam, called Rock and Skull, and it seems to be it's getting quite a following, and you're starting to get some names out there with some other creators.
It's growing, yeah. There's some people streaming it. There was someone yesterday, not yesterday, it might be the day before, who was streaming it for 8 hours.
8 hours! Oh my
straight.
God! I must admit I haven't quite downloaded it yet, but we're working on something which will be released in due time. So that'll be an interesting experience when I finally do get my hands on the game.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Do you like rage games? Are you good at platformers?
It's not something I've ever really played. It's not something that I've ever really played.
You should give something like Bennett Foddy's Getting Over It a try, or Jump King is a good one. Get to Work is a fun one, sort of momentum based, as opposed to like typical rage jumps. There's quite a few out there.
Yeah, thing is,
Hopefully Rock and Scroll will be added to that list.
Fingers crossed.
Big ones. And then we can really up the production value of this stream.
Well, that is just it. And that's it. We're slowly but surely we are upgrading things. We are getting there to the point where we're finally able to run two games at once live.
I mean,
I don't know, which is considering where we were, a couple of seasons ago, where we were streaming on a Discord stage. It's quite an improvement. Which is impressive.
I keep thinking it's Sunday, but it's not, is it?
No,
I'm thinking we got 2 games on because it's a Sunday and everyone plans their games for Sundays, but it's not. It's Monday. This is the start of a week.
Yeah, I mean, we're starting week 3. We've seen some great series so far. In Fearless, whether it be, the upper bracket where we've seen some hella team fights. I remember watching the Bagpost Lovers. Just this last week, every single game they had a 5v5 team fight, whether it be in jungle, in bot lane, wherever, and it was something else, something to behold.
What surprised me yesterday was the game. I think it was Divas Never Die versus the Shetland Super Server. I think their second game looked like an upper bracket level of kills in that game.
Yeah.
I think we're about, I can't remember exactly now, but it was 14 kills on one team and 9 kills in another team when we were like halfway through. I was like, this does not look like lower bracket play. This is like upper bracket level where no one's dying, everyone's playing it really smart.
Well, that's just it. We are seeing these lower bracket, these lower bracket matches level up. I mean, I remember season 1, I had the most deaths. Expert loves to talk about it. Of 114 deaths when I was on support and mid lane. Great stat. Love it. But now we don't see that as much. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to ping something to Slugger. Use
Slugger's casting desk.
draft. Not pre-game stage. See, that helps his stream. We are not far away from draft ourselves. They are just finishing up the main part backstage, and as soon as we are ready to go into client, we'll just send it. But it's obviously we want to see the Xerath. Any other champions you want to see in this game 1?
I mean, this is the second season of Fearless that I've watched, and I still don't think I've seen anyone pick.
Only second? Did you not watch? Did you not watch season 1?
Well, my memory doesn't go that far back. I played in season 1. That's why.
Oh, you did, yeah. I remember the Pike and all that. That was the Xerath support.
But yeah, does anybody play Pike? Is it just me? I know Mismatch plays him, but he's a mid player in the series. Does anybody else play Pike?
I don't think so. We don't see a lot of Pikes. So I'm just trying to work a bit of text. You know, we don't see a lot of Pikes. We see a lot of Enchanters right now.
Pike is just so solid. Like as far as champs that can pull someone into the team, his hook is up so fast. You can just throw him out willy-nilly. Just pray. You just go fishing. You go fishing, you hope you hook something.
I mean, Pike's a great thing. Same with Blitzcrank, these hooks, but I don't know if we're going to see any because they're not really in the meta right now. Yes, Thresh is because of his escape. Thresh is great with his escape and the utility he has. But I'm a big fan of Enchanters, and I always love to see a Seraphim. We know this. It's not a secret.
I don't even need to ask.
Yeah, audio capture, and then activate defaults.
But yeah, the answer will always be the same. Hook champion. Let me see it. Let me see someone get pulled into the thick of it and have to flash out.
Good. I believe I'm hearing a word from backstage. It's not going to be long. Oh wait, no, we are. We've got one of the members have stepped away from their PC just for the moment. It wouldn't be a League of Fearless Friends if we didn't have that. But yeah, no, we're almost there. And yeah, I'm intrigued to see what we're going to see in this first draft. Obviously, Smolder is still kind of broken. He got obviously changes where his he now scales his damage on his crit, and he gets bonus damage on that execute with that. So by the time you get to that 225 stacks, I have seen Smolders one-shot Mundos.
It's just about getting to that point, though, isn't it? And you hope by this point that even though we are, well, no, this is middle bracket, isn't it?
This is middle bracket, yeah. So I expect to see some really good gameplay here.
Yeah, but you hope that everyone in the team should know. Let's try and finish this early before Smolder can get anything going, because if we drag this out, we lose. And if they are planning on dragging it out, or if it does get dragged out, then they need to wait to confidently shut down that Smolder. Because if they can't, then it's just game over.
Well, that's it. I mean,
some point and click CC, just something that you can lock it down with really easily.
Thing is, though, thing is, the way the games are going currently, and we've seen a lot of, they drag on. Whether it be, because of Mundo, because of a Shyvana, because of the small themselves. Oh, I believe production's just told me I've lost John. He's gone, but here he is, and we're back. And we have a draft coming up, folks. We see a Kane ban. So that's Snoop's Kane getting banned right away. I mean, we all know Kane's, he's a one-trick. Well, not a one-trick, but he plays a lot. And it's one of his main jungles.
Great ban as well.
Yeah,
that's a favourite for Curly, isn't it?
Well, it was actually Curly that banned it. It was banned from the side of Nessies Kittens. So it'll be interesting to see.
Is that a tactical ban? Because then it can't be banned next game? Or could Elo Sub still ban it game 2?
So it won't be banned game 2. You can play it game 2 if he wants.
But could Elo Patrol ban it game 2?
No.
No, they can't ban it because it's been banned one round already. So it could be a tactical ban.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. And that's what we've seen a lot more develop this season in Fearless, as we see the Caitlyn Mundo come out for them. So he is
Caitlyn, Mundo, Lucian, Shyvana, Syndra, and a Diana. So that's Diana mid, probably, with the Shiv.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think it is Diana going mid. I mean, Shyvana, I'm a big fan of Shyvana at the moment. I feel she's in a really strong point. The good thing about Shyvana for Elo Submarine, it's an easy win con. Play her on dragons. If you can get those resistances up, she can sit in the fights for so long. Whereas, easy way to shut her down, don't let her get any dragons, force her to fight early, and then she can't play the game. If Shyvana can get shut down on the first couple of clears, she's going to struggle the rest of the game. But if you let her get the dragon form and get into the game, she is an absolute nightmare on the Rift. She's my current solo queue gem to kind of push me up, and it's working. I'm in Bronze 1, and I'm getting on the doorstep of Silver.
There we go.
If you look at my ratings, there's Iron 4, Iron 4, Iron. I was rooted at the bottom, but since my jungle arc, it's kind of working. But yeah, we do see these final drafts here. We see Shen, Shyvana, Diana, Lucian, and Senna for the side of the Elo Submarine. Whereas the much tankier team, by the looks of it, of On, Mundo Jungle, which I love as well, my other jungle pick, Syndra, Caitlyn, and Janna. What side do you prefer the most, John?
I'm trying to think which side I would not want to come up against. The Lucian Senna combo is disgusting. There's so much damage potential there. But the Ornn is so good. I think I prefer the side of Elo Submarine.
Really? See, I like the scaling they have on Nessie's Kittens. They've gone and they said, right, we're playing this for hella late. We're not trying to finish this in 5 minutes. We're here to play the game, and we're going to sit, and we're going to wait, and we're just going to relax.
So if the game gets dragged out, it goes towards Nessie's Kittens easy.
But it's
Elo Sub can put on the pressure early, and they can get some kills on the board, get the Drakes, like you say, get Shyvana nice and boosted, then they should be able to roll with it.
Yeah, but at the same time, Shyvana does need that time to scale. And this is the problem. Mundo is, in terms of a jungler, he's quite oppressive early. If he's got backup, if he can get those heals once he gets his level 3, he's going to be a bit of a problem for the Shyvana. Shyvana has no offense early. Yes, she can clear camps.
When he gets that slow, that's the worst thing. You're trying to run away from him, and you're
trying to
anticipate where he's throwing.
Yeah, Shyvana.
Does he throw axes?
Yeah, it's the cleavers. Shyvana doesn't become a champion until level 6. Until you get that ult, you don't want to fight. Because all you're doing, you're this flimsy character. Yeah, you can throw a fireball, you can have a nibble there. You can't do that much. Once you
Who
get
have
that,
ever played Shyvana?
oh, she's fun. She's fun. So obviously you've got on your Q, it's basically like a double auto attack. It's quite a simple ability. Your W gives you movement, speed, and some AoE. Whereas your E's the fun one, that's your fireball. Once you hit alt form, so you don't have a cooldown like, say, Azerath does. You use your ability and then it's done for like a minute, 2 minutes. Shyvana, you have to build up your fury. So that's another element of it. You've got to be wise when you use this. Because if you use it on cooldown, bang, 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 you get to dragon fight, it's gone. And you're like,
left,
fuck. How am I gonna deal with this? And then you got to go around your camps, fight, build that fury up. Because if you're fighting without it, you lose a lot of your health. Because you gain bonus health as well with this. And your abilities are enhanced.
She's quite a techie champion then, isn't she?
For a simple jungler, yes. But she's one of my kind of go-tos right now. And I believe we are not long to go in the game. So final predictions. You were saying Elo Submarines. Do you think Elo Submarine pick up their first map of the series?
I'm rooting for him. I always got to root for the underdog.
I must admit, I think looking at season form, Nessies Kittens have to be the favourites. They've earned that right. So let's just see if they can turn it into the actual win. And yeah, we are obviously, I can see the skins, and there's only one default skin.
Oh, not bad.
Do you have any idea what champion it could be on?
Oh, I mean, that's a tricky one. Because I don't know who's not playing on their main account or high ranking account. I'm going to throw out a Diana.
You're saying Diana, so you think it's Jason. Well, only time will tell. We are just waiting.
No, it can't be Jason, actually. No, I take that back. Who have we got? The Mundo. Let's go with the Mundo.
You go Mundo? I mean...
Final answer.
Final answer, Snoops Mundo. Okay. Well, let's just see if your stonks are going to rise, or if you'll be cleavered down. Nah, I mean, there's so many nice champions with skins here. There's so many things that you could pick for these champions. They've got some of the best skins in the game, in my opinion.
What supporters did we have? Senna and Janna.
Senna and Janna, yeah.
We're probably not going to see an invade, are we?
I would be surprised because none of these jungles want to fight early. Top laners, it'll be a bro lane, I think.
See, if it was me, if that was me on Senna, I'd be pinging for that invade. I'd say, come on, let's go. I'll start W, but let's go.
And here we are in game. Let me just quickly go into...
Sponsored by Foul Play. Go wishlist my game, Rock and Scroll on Steam.
Here we go. And we see the slightly updated no overlay screen we've got here, folks. So with this, we'll be able to see the champions, we'll be able to see the scores and the timeline, even if we're not in the full video. But yeah, here we go. Into game number 1. And yet, nobody's in bot lane this game. Like, normally we see everyone around this bot bush, but we see Nessie's Kittens. Look at this! They are sitting and waiting for an unsuspecting prey.
Jason, Matt, step out. Do it.
Surely doesn't, right?
It's a standard clear, isn't it? A standard, safe spot here.
I mean, they're trying to bait him out. Here we go. The ward's going to come out. They're going to spot it. They're going to get rid of that vision. And they're going to get that ward. Nicely done for the side of Nessie's Kittens, getting that ward. But they would have probably liked a bit more there. And to try to take a kill there.
They're going to be in trouble here, though. Look at Lucian and Senna.
Not
be able to get off just a little bit of early poke damage.
Yeah, not the normal kind of cheese team I would be thinking of. It's not your Lux, it's not your Blitzcrank. But it's still a very dangerous combo, especially if these two get mid to late game. But yeah, seems a fairly steady start as we do see the Sen engaging. Although she will take a lot of damage back. Kanojo doing a lot of damage onto Riku's Senna. And already, she's at half health. We're not even 2 minutes in, John.
Lucian doesn't want to engage until level 2. He needs some abilities to get these resets.
Well, that's just it, you know. Oh, I've not. Why is I've used the wrong Elo team? Lol, that's funny. So it's not Elo Patrol. This is this is Elo Submarine. Let me just quickly try and sort that as we go. Meanwhile, we see a fight in top lane. We see Crunkseed and Iota starting from the word go. I said this was a bro lane, but they're not looking like they're setting out to be.
These both just going to be farming, aren't they? They're both so tanky. They can sort of play around with their health a little bit.
That's the meanwhile, Senna is absolutely getting bullied so far in the support here. It's not updated. We'll hopefully update it for the next game, folks. But we are seeing, you know, this bot lane get pushed in nice and early. And if you decide of Elo Submarine, this is not what you want to see. Meanwhile, see Crunkseid knocking up the Shen. And Crunk's really been performing from what we've seen.
Yeah, he's not letting himself be bullied. He's putting down his own damage as well. And the thing is, I think Sen is playing this well because
hold that thought. We see Shen going in. Meanwhile, Jason is going to go. He will get rooted. Well, everyone's getting knocked away right now in all 3 lanes, but nobody's going to die, at least for now.
Yeah, so as I was saying, that Senna, her health regen is just insane for even at such an early level. It really lets her just stay in lane and be a menace.
Yeah, we are going to see Shyvana manage to get that top side scuttle. But the important one for her, she doesn't have that bot side scuttle. Mundo has control over that. So that means when this dragon comes up, Nessies Kittens, who have the bot lane prio, will be able to walk up, will be able to just control this Shyvana's access onto this dragon. And you got to think, she should not be allowed access onto that. Meanwhile, we do see Crunkseid taking a lot of damage, but he's a wee bit so he can't do too much.
I'm just looking at the scoreboard. Can we not see CS in it?
We can do. Let me just reset it. So it sometimes does this. And then I should do that. There we go.
Oh, nice.
And yeah,
as expected, with the Lucian being pushed so far into tower, Caitlyn's just building up a slight lead to begin with.
Not as much as you thought it would be, though.
CS in top lane, though. Wow.
I'm actually quite surprised at that, because I thought Crunkseid was having more control of that lane, but Shen and Iota really working a treat here. Meanwhile, we're seeing the bot lane. You know, Akri is coming in. He doesn't have his 6 yet, but he's still going to look to invade. The flash in on the Shyvana. Kanojo has to get healed, but unfortunately, Yana can't quite heal the Lucian enough. First blood to the Elo Submarine. That's a torpedo if I've ever seen one.
And it also goes on the Lucian, which is huge.
That's exactly who you want it to go on. If you're the side of Elo Submarine, you know, you need him to get into this game and get a chance to skill.
He's gonna have to get some early kills, get lots of CS if he wants to have even a shot at taking out some of these tanks late game.
And here we are in the dragon. Shyvana is in the bed. She gets it! Shyvana slays the dragon! We talked about how, you know, Nessies Kittens, they had the control, yes, to get the kill back. But the important one is, though, for this Shyvana, that's 1 dragon in the books.
You take that every day. You take that every day of the week. That's fine. Elo Submarine aren't going to care about that. About Shyvana dying. She just helped kill on bot lane. She then secures Drake. She's doing great right now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, yes, you didn't quite manage to walk away with your life as well. But 1-1, you've got that dragon. You're not really minding.
Yeah, and you got to think, if she hadn't flashed to just help the bot lane secure that kill, she would have a flash to get out, so...
Well, that's just it. And I mean, someone who's been playing a lot of Shyvana, that's just the price you pay. That's just the price you play for...
She's not 6 yet either, so she couldn't have flown out.
Well, that's just it, you know. You know, until you get that flying, it's kind of rough. Here we go. See, again, just trades here in this bot lane. Nobody's really looking to do too much. But yeah, you're going to be happy with that dragon in the current state of affairs if you're the side of Elo Submarine here. Meanwhile, we see Jason going in on Curly, not being scared on this Diana. We do see Snoop walking in to try and help his mid laner. They are going to fight for Scuttle. The Shyvana will get it. No, nobody is going to go down.
Shyvana has just hit 6 as well, though. So if they do start a fight in mid here, it could get spicy.
This is important. I don't know what Shyvana's really doing. Grubs haven't quite spawned yet. She is walking up towards the top lane, and here she comes. She wants to fight Crunk here. She wants to get out ahead. There comes the ult from the Shyvana. The Dragon Ascent doesn't quite get anything. Crunk will get under tower. Meanwhile, we do see Curly throwing all these orbs straight at this Diana, and he is having a really good time so far. Although Jason misses the ult. Oh, that's unfortunate for Jason.
Great flash by the Syndra there.
Meanwhile, we see Crunk. The on ult comes out, knocks up the Shen. Mundo's here as well. But it looks like Iota's going to be the one to go down, although Shyvana is here. She doesn't have form. She is in the human form here, and now they can look to punish that, as Iota will fall. This will be feats if the Shyvana falls, although she is going to look for Crunk. Remember, one more kill on either side. On side of Nessie's Kittens, which they do pick up, even with the Senna roaming. That's just 3-1 in favour of Nessie's Kittens so far.
That was really smart by the Mundo just then. So the Shen flashes out, and the Mundo has to flash out as well, just to get rid of, because Shyvana was blocking his next cleaver. So if he can take out the Shen, then he can just both focus on the Shyvana and secure grubs. Really well played.
And I say, this Shyvana, you need to get as much as you can on the map early so you can scale. If you don't do that, it's a hard game. It is such a hard game if you're not allowed to scale. Although, it is looking like they are moving around grubs, leaving these ADCs in this bot lane. Obviously, Snowfall's had a really good time of it. After that early kill, kind of controlling. And it will be just, obviously, 2 grubs to 1. So no team get the grubbies. But importantly, they get that feat of strength. Trying it one apiece as this one just knocks the Shen up. The taunt comes out from the Shen. Looking in on Iota.
This damage is huge by the Shen.
There's nothing On can do right now. You know, yeah, you've got the Brittle, the knockbacks like that. But you need to be playing around, you know, the Shyvana to do anything at the moment in this lane. Now, as the game goes on, that will change. But right now, you need something to happen.
We haven't seen Shen ult come out yet, have we? So
We have not, no.
Red side do have to be wary of that.
If you are looking for the lower bracket game, it is currently 9 kills to 2 in favour of the side of Nasus Esports. With their top laner being 7-1 so far. Not only that, it's a York that's 7-1, so that's not going to be a fun time for the Shetland Super Server. Meanwhile, we do see Iota fighting again Crunk, but they're just going to knock 10 bells out each other. Although we are going to see On knocking up. I don't know what Crunk's trying to do here. You don't have the damage, you don't have the pressure. Is he more trying to stop Iota getting ready to go help his team at Dragon?
Oh, potentially, yeah, just keeping him distracted. Doesn't want him to use that TP out.
Meanwhile, we are going to see pings in this bot lane. We see Curly getting a nice double stun here. The orbs are going to come out onto Riku. However, they will get stunned up. However, nobody decides to punish that. Acreate does have that Shyvana ulti ready to go. Ready to be used at a moment's notice. However, Snowfall's going to walk right up front to this Janna. Has to back off. Meanwhile, top lane, we are still looking. They are still sitting in that bush, but nothing's going to happen quite yet.
No, Shen knows. Shen knows that he's just lurking.
Thank you for the sub there on the follow. Nice. I don't know if that was on Twitch or what, but we'll figure that out.
One.
I think that's Twitch. Meanwhile, we do see the stuns coming out from Jason, not going to much, and we are going to see Nessie's Kitten starting up the second drag. Akria is just over the pit. She knows that it's been started. Shyvana comes in, she's in the pit, and she steals it! The Shyvana steals the second drag. She's going to pick up a kill onto Snoop God. And now they're going to turn. Nessie will fall. Kanojo will fall. This is what you want to see for the side of Elo Submarine. playing around the Shyvana, letting Acre be your carry. What a steal from the Shyvana.
What a steal. A steal into a triple kill. Huge. Just what the Submarines needed.
I mean, that was a big play, and we're going to get a clip of that up in just a...
And not only that, look who all of the kills went on.
Well, that's just it. It went on the right person. We do see top lane just duke it out, so we'll hold fire on the replay just for now, as we see Iota fighting Crunkside. I don't think anyone's going to go down here. These are two top laners, and they will just knock 10 bells out of each other. So while that's happening... Oh, please tell me I got that replay. Please tell me I got that replay.
I think you did. I think it just swapped to it.
Oh, meanwhile, we do see...
Briefly, anyway.
I don't think it did. No, it didn't. Ah, that's annoying. Never mind. We'll try and get that in post-production anyway. Meanwhile, we do see Crunkside coming in onto Iota in this top lane. The Heartsteel stacks will come out. I actually don't think that's true. We do see the knock-up coming in. Shyvana's going to take a Heartsteel to the face, and Shyvana just falls. You might be a bit tankier than you were, but you're not tanky enough yet, Shyvana. And now the team end is going to put some pressure onto this top side. And that was really unfortunate.
Yeah, really hope the Iota doesn't die here.
Yeah, Crunkside has to... Yeah. I don't know. This looks just like a... Yep, it's a league moment. A Rito issue. And we're going to see Jason...
around a little bit too long there.
Yeah. Now let's see if Jason Matt's going to be caught out here, because I think he is.
It's a flash over the wall, yeah.
I mean, that's a lot. That's not a nice summoner spell to have to burn. Especially just when...
We're not when you're going into a 3v1.
I mean, we've seen... This is the best we've seen the Elo Submarine perform so far this season. You know, they're right in this game. You know, this Shyvana... You know, yes, she's down in gold, but all the other lanes, top and bottom are winning. I mean, we do see the stun coming out from the center. She is going to get nearly winded up by the Janna. Doesn't quite hit, and Snowfall will take a lot of damage in return for that.
The only thing is, this Lucian has 4 kills. I want to see him having a bit more of an impact here. The bot lane still seems even, you know?
I think they're just playing it safe, because we've seen in previous series, you know, games slip away because maybe get too aggressive. I'd like to see them be a wee bit more aggressive, as we do see. I mean, on top lane again, these two just trading. They're not scared to fight. I mean, we do see in the bot lane, the Mundo's here, and they're all going to send it. The Sentinel does come out. Snowfall has to flash under tower. We're going to get pulled away, as we do see Acre looking to get a counter gank in the top lane. Decides against it, and instead should just turn and take this Rift Tower that is coming. But that was...
What a giga play by Senna just there. Using the ult, using a Q to shield Lucian as much as possible. And then flashing out, so neither of them died. Huge.
That is just it. And we see Jason he's struggling a bit in this mid lane against Curly. But we are just going to see Shyvana pick up that, and that is the defeat of objective over to the side of Elo Submarines. Even when losing the 2 grubs, they do get the future check. Why is League being a bit glitchy today? Sorry, bear with us. This is not me. This is a client issue. Bear with us. I do not know why it's
the casting with John Curse. It seems like whenever we cast together, there's some weird league issues, isn't there?
Yeah. Let me just see if doing that solves it. We've just gone back to where we were. So I don't know if it's going to stop. I don't see it pulling information. Yeah. Nope. Let's just go back to the draft screen just for now while I try and reset the client. We might lose a tiny wee bit of information, but it looks like League is having a slight issue today. Looks we're the only game affected. But from what we've seen so far, John, who have you been most impressed by?
Oh, it's got to be Eagle Submarine, hasn't it? They're doing well. They just have to now push. I think they need to stop playing it a little bit less safe. Start going more aggro, because yes, your Shyvana is going to get stronger later, but your Mundo, your Ornn, your Syndra are also going to get really strong. late game, and I think they will just get outscaled in the end if they don't start pushing.
I mean, well, we are going to jump. Sorry, John. We are going to jump straight back into game. And yeah, we didn't lose any kills, but that Rift Tower we did just see get taken has already been popped for the side of the But the Mundo. They'll just take that first tower for the side of on top side. Top side got it. I don't know who got feats. We'll find out in just a second when I refresh this source.
Oh no, it'll be blue side because they got bot tower.
Yeah. Here we
Find
go.
out.
Get my.
Maybe.
So we will get there. Bear with us, folks. Text decided.
Too cooking.
But I mean, let's just work it out. We've got 2 dragons. And they got the feats because they got rifters. We see a fight starting out. Curly's going to take a lot of damage, but Jason's the one who's going to fall as the 4 men of the Nessies Kittens are there. But the one thing they aren't there for is the dragon. That's the 3rd dragon. Soul point for the Shyvana.
They'll take that again. They're just trading 1 kill for the Drake. And yeah, I think Elo Submarine are going to take that any day of the week. That's fine. Like, Curly... Sorry, was it Curly?
Yeah.
On the Diana?
No, it's Jason on the Diana, yeah.
Jason did a great job of just distracting the entire red side and saying, I'm here, don't worry about me. Like, look at me, the Drake doesn't matter.
And there we go, the overlay is back working, folks. Sorry about that. League is just not being our friend tonight, it seems. Whether it be the stream issues for Slugger or League issues. As we do see the stun coming up from the center onto the Janna. Snowfall's going to go right in on it. And Nessie's just going to get absolutely eaten up. We see the cull coming out from this Lucian, but no more damage. Gets caught in the minions.
See from the Lucian though, there's that damage coming out there, being really aggro. He could. Oh, but we do see Red Side have got feats actually. It must have been really close between the towers. I think
it did come down to that, and it was literally, we saw it just as we came back. It was an absolute split second between the two of them. So, well played to Nessie's Kittens. But for the Shyvana, you can take that. You've got 3 dragons now. That's now 15. That's
more to go.
That's now 15 additional magic resist and armor resist. That's kind of big.
As well as the buffs of whatever drakes they've got. I think it's one of each so far. I think it ended with a.
So yeah, Drake.
Drake.
Yeah, so I believe they got a wind and an ocean, but we are going to see it.
Inferno and a hex tech, I think.
Yeah, so some nice ones to have, and that's what you kind of want on the Shyvana. You want a good thing. Well, we see the Mundo. He does pop his passive as we do see the whole team going in here. However, there's just no damage. This Lucian's not able to do anything. The center will just fall. The Lucian's just not in the
Lucian there.
He is in the fight. He just can't do any damage. And now they've got to be careful. Jason Matt has come up to help the fight. But he's just going to walk right into an On, who's just going to knock him up. And Jason will just take a lot of the Syndra Orbs to the face. The Scat of the Week comes out. Doesn't quite pick anyone up. They're all living on blinking health bars. But again, nobody will die apart from the center.
Yeah, you can't engage without the Lucian there. You cannot fight. All of the kills are on the Lucian. There's a gold lead in every other lane towards Nessie's Kittens. And they're tanky.
Well, yeah.
You need the damage.
That's the thing you got to watch out for, is they are so damn tanky right now. You know, this On doesn't want to just... He's not just going to disappear. This Mundo, even if he gets passive, he is still a threat to be worried about. This Syndra's 3-0. She's on 96 stacks. I believe that's just past the execute threshold now for her Scat of the Week. But also,
I think it's 120, isn't it, for her?
I think 90's the execute, 120 is the extra AP.
Ah, sorry, yeah.
Which is that's even more disgusting. Meanwhile, just an update on that lower bracket game for any of those who are interested. We are still in game 1 there. But it's now 12 kills to 6 for the side. Still in favour of the Nessies eSport team, but it looks like the Shetlands, they finally got the internet working and are coming back in. Meanwhile, we do see the side of Nessie's Kittens. They are going to look to start this Atakan. However, The Elo Submarine do know, and they are aware. Shyvana does have out prime for this. She's holding, she's taking a lot of damage. She needs to pop it. The Ataka's going down, and it gets stolen again by this Shyvana. As another steal. The Shen will pick up one of the kills and get the shutdown onto the Syndra. However, a lot of damage is coming out. 4 men of the Elo Submarine make that 3 because the Shen will fall to the Caitlyn. Crunksy will now look to turn onto probably the Senna now. With Nessie and Kanojo, this bot lane of the Nessies Kittens, a double stun. Jasomet looking to go in. He doesn't have... Oh, I don't know what he's thinking here. He needs to just play a bit more safe, I think. Because you don't have all the tools you want. And you don't want to give them any more kills. And it looks like both sides are just going to back off. What a fight that was, John. And what a steal.
Is that the 3rd objective steal we've seen so far?
I believe so.
I think we've seen 2 Drake steals and now an Atakan steal.
And that was the best steal yet. I mean, let's just get this up. I mean, just look at this, John. Like, it is absolutely insane. You know, she's rooted. She's getting Caitlyn to the face. And it falls to 946 before the smite comes in. That's absolutely insane. That they just get allowed to get out.
Such an unfortunate flash there by the Senna, almost blocking it to save the Shyvana, but just a little bit too far.
Now, this is where it gets interesting. So, obviously, that Shyvana out is down. She's got to be careful because she needs it up. She is going to get it up near enough. She's not going to quite have it as this Drake fight starts. However, that will be ticking over. She shouldn't be too far. Meanwhile, we do see Iota getting knocked up. He's the only one going to be turned on. The Shen has to flash away. The Heartsteel procs are coming out. Doesn't quite manage to hit that most satisfying noise in League. And it's Shen will live for now. The Vision War begins as they have that pink ward in the bush. A-Create will get knocked up, and they are looking to go in now. This could be big, because remember, if this Shyvana falls, that is the one who has been stealing all these Drakes for the side of the Elo Submarine so far.
There's no way she steals it again, surely.
I mean, they are backing off. I think they're just conceding Drake, surely. You know, Diana's backing. I wouldn't be backing right now when they are going to see, you know, Nessie's Kittens. They have started up this Drake.
They've got vision on it.
But A-Create knows. The ult's primed. She's going in. She doesn't quite get in. Now she's in the... She's just absolutely blown up. Right idea from the Shyvana. Just mistimed it. But when you've stolen 3 objectives so far, can you blame her?
No, I think it was a blind attempt. So they did have a control ward in the Drake pit. So I think that's a valiant attempt for going in blind.
I mean, that was literally, you know, a split second from it. But yeah, no, I mean, who do you think is going to win? I mean, gold-wise, I think we're fairly even. Let me just...
You know, we're getting to 25 minutes. Syndra just 14 stacks away from being a monster.
I mean, she's already a monster at 4-1. I mean, that's... Mundo doesn't have his passive... Oh, I say Mundo. That was even Mundo that got stunned. We see Snowfall. She's got a suitcase to the face. Shen does come in and they are looking to fight. You know, Iota's here. Riku's here. The mist doesn't quite land and they are going to get out.
Yeah, that's really smart by the Shen there to ult the Lucian. Oh, is the TP going to come off? It is. Nice.
And yeah, these two are just going to keep fighting. And we see the on items coming through. We see the upgraded Magic Sunfire item on the side of the Ornn. We see the shoulder plate on the Mundos. We do see A-Crate going in again on Curly. Shyvana should just pick up the kill here. I mean, especially with Snowfall. Indeed, she does. It's a nice kill. But however, Kanojo will pick one back on the backside, picking up the center. The Cyclone does come in and knock up this Shyvana, but Shyvana can't enter this pit because of the Caitlyn traps.
It's a worthwhile trade though, for mid laner for support.
Problem is now, you don't have the Shyvana away, and the only camps you've got up is Raptors. You need more than Raptors to get it up. Yes, she's got the Krug spawning, but she should really want to be top side of the map. So this is the challenge of the Shyvana. You have to play round your ulti.
This Mundo just phase checking all these bushes. He knows he's going to be hard to kill.
I mean, the saying's right. Mundo does go where he pleases, and his team right now, they do have that gold advantage.
going to see them? I think we see Nessie here, sort of. I'm hoping to see some wards placed just to set up Baron.
I mean, we are going to see Shen. He looks like he's going to get caught out because they know where he is. And here we go. They're all collapsing on the... They're not going to get anything. Shen, masterfully, just gets out with his life. Although Jason, we talked about the Mundo face checking. I don't think
Jason can face check like that. You're not that tanky.
he does burn the flash, but Owen will burn it back. And he'll just go donk. Thank you very much, Jason. A nice 300 gold to this Ornn. And the beauty of Ornn...
I want to see the red side, just Nessie's Kittens path up towards Baron now. You're all up. You've taken out mid laner who can tie you all together.
Not only that, they're about to get vision that this Shyvana is bot side. Right, although she is the one who gets that ward. But they've got to be careful, obviously, because she's now going to be late to this fight now. She is in the fight. She has got out-primed. Actually, Iota doing a... Just kind of trying to taunt this Mundo. But this Mundo still has passive. And he can now just walk onto this Lucian. However, they do know they're there and they do have backup.
The Mundo's just walking around saying, "This is my jungle. Get out of here.
But
Get out of here, guys."
All while this posturing is happening, Ornn is just saying, "Oh, you're all there, cool. Let me just demolish your tower."
I'll take this tower.
Thank you very much.
And then he'll probably go for potentially a kill. No.
They're just going to look to put...
Ornn's level 16 here.
Yeah, they're just going to push this pressure in mid with a lot of damage onto Riku, you know, not be able to do much on this thing. The Senna, this Caitlyn out does come out, does hit the Diana instead of the Senna. We see Curly looking...
Ults where you hope that it goes through everyone else. You hope you thread the needle.
Yeah, I mean, it's a wishful thinking one, but you're never going to complain about that. Because that 1 in 100 it hits is great. But worst case...
all the shots you don't take.
But worst case now, all you're doing is chunking them down as we get ready for Soul Point, take 2.
And you can't keep relying on this Shiv to get a steal. She's done absolute work this game. I need to see the rest of the team just, you know, get a pick somewhere.
I mean, the difference is this time, though, Ornn isn't in the fight. The last couple of times, Ornn has been in this fight.
He does have TP ready, so I think he's playing this right. Push in top, drag someone top side, and then TP down straight.
We are going to see Shyvana going in on the back line! Oh, that is big! That is big for this Shyvana. Double kill for Jason, triple kill for Jason, and they get Kanojo as well. That is a fantastic play from the Elo Submarines. A torpedo right into the Kitten's heart, and that will be so picked up.
That's going to be Soul, and it's going to be Baron. Look at them already pathing up towards it.
I mean, you'd be daft not to. You know, that was just an absolutely huge play from that Shyvana.
That's exactly what I wanted to see, is just, you know, don't turn it into a coin flip. Get the kills. I think you've got enough damage with the Shyvana and with the Lucian. It's all going to come down to this Ornn here to see if he can steal it.
Yeah, here we just see...
coming in clutch there as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're just seeing the picture. They are just taking Baron, and the Shyvana will pick up the Baron, but that was just a hell of a fight, as we do see Crunkside. Yeah, Iota and Crunkside, nobody's going to die. Let's be fair. These two aren't killing each other anytime soon. This is what you want if you're a fan of Elo Submarine. I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, this is one of the first times they've been leading past the 10-minute mark in Fearless Season 3. This is exactly what we want to see for the side of Elo Submarines.
They need to run with this, though, now. They need to run with it. They need to all come together, maybe push it down mid, do a split with the Shen, and they need to get a lot out of it. Because
they've got the tools.
Scaling. We've got a scaling red side here.
Thing is, though, you look at these gold graphs, the gold difference. You've got 1.5k gold in advantage of this Ornn. Just under 600 for the Mundo. But then it's 450 to Jason, 1.6k for Snowfall, and then 1,000 towards the Senna, who's also on about 92 stacks, might we add. So she's got a decent whack for support here. And if we actually look at the gold graph, we can see this is the first time all game that from when we reconnected, that Nessies Kittens haven't been in the lead. And you feel momentum-wise, the Elos Submarine are starting to pick some up.
Come on, Elos, you can do this. Oh, that Mundo passive is so frustrating. Ooh, that's a lot of damage coming out from Caitlyn, isn't it?
Yeah, and this Wailing Mist needs to start hitting. However, again, we're looking to fight. And notice the Shyvana, she has the bar. Beautiful stun from the Shyvana. From the Syndra onto the bat line, onto Snowfall. So she's going to have to back out the fight. Meanwhile, Shyvana does pop out more just to try and say, get away from my team. I'm a big mama dragon and nobody is getting close to my team. That's what you got to do as Shyvana in that sense. But now, you've got 2 minutes to this Elder Dragon. You need to get your form back. Because if you don't, you're really going to struggle. But the problem is, you farmed all your camps just now to get that form. Yes, they're going to come up. But while your team is fighting around the map, you have to be farming.
And there's nothing for her to take. She's just going to wait for wolves to come up.
She has to. That's, I mean, you're in a really tough spot. You can't go in solo, take an objective like this Mundo did for the Scuttle. You can't go and blindly walk into your enemy bushes. As we do see the on ulti coming out, knocking up the Lucian, who gets caught out in the mid lane. However, doesn't get enough damage with just the Mundo and Krunkstead themselves. They ulti some damage back, but they're not doing enough. Meanwhile, we do see Jason. Shen fighting the Syndra in the top lane. He could easily jump while Syndra does have the TP. And they are all just going to walk away. I don't think we're finished fighting here, John. I think we're about to get a big fight here in a minute.
Yeah.
Before
Lucian just needs to play it so safe. All the goal is on him.
Yeah. Before we get there, though, prediction: who wins the next team fight?
I'm rooting for the Elo Submarines, but I'm rooting for the Elo Submarines. But I think the Kittens might get it. They just seem to be getting those little picks that really matter.
Thing is, though, you know, these guys have that Hextech buff, which is so oppressive in team fights. The next fight is going to be Elder, and you've got to think whoever gets it is going to be a prime contention to end this game. I mean, these top laners are level 17. I swear they're just cuddling at this point.
They're just trying to give us some content. That's all it is.
Like, oh, come here, good friend. Let me just give you a pat on the back. Let me just...
Whose item have we got upgraded so far?
All of them. So we do... Actually, no, not all of them.
No.
The Syndra is the only one who doesn't. That surprises me.
Yeah,
that really surprises me. Now, I like the Moonstone because that's what you need, but I wouldn't prioritize that over the Shadow Flame because that Shadow Flame is a key for the Syndra. So let's see if that makes a difference as we go into this next fight.
Are they potentially saving it for Rabadons?
Possibly. I mean, she does have that first one, but obviously the Elder is spawned. And they do know about it, or it's spawning momentarily. Timers might be slightly off due to the reset. But the Elder Dragon, we can see the pit. We can see them all here. Here comes Jason getting caught out by this Mundo. The Elo Submarine, they do have to back off. They can't just walk into this tanky front line. Krunkstead is joining the fight. Everyone is here. We've got 5v5. The on out, he comes out, shuts down the Lucian. That could be big. Shyvana is on the back line. She's going in for the Syndra. Shen tries to save the Shyvana's life, but the Shyvana will fall to the Syndra. Iota looks set to fall next. Meanwhile, Mundo is zoning the rest of the team off. So Iota has no help whatsoever. The Caitlyn ulti will come out. Nearly killed, but he will get out. Problem is, though, that will just give a free Elder Drake to the side of the Kittens.
And the Kittens are doing the exact right thing. They know Lucian is the only threat, really. So they say we take out Lucian, we win the rest of the team fight.
Can we just give a big shout out to both supports here, though? 101 vision and 99 vision in a 36-minute game.
Love it. That is some nice vision score.
I've been really impressed by vision this whole season, Fearless. You know, right down to the lower bracket, right up to the upper bracket. The vision game's been stepped up.
am going to check the stats to see if anyone has beaten my vision score from the first season.
What was your record? I know my record of season 1 was 114 deaths. What was your?
I'm going to check now. Bear with me. View stats.
Meanwhile, we do see, we finally. So hold that thought. We do see Krunksei taking a lot of damage out of Iota. This time he does have. Oh my god! Senna just gets deleted from the game. We do see Ikari trying to help his top lane, although I don't think even as a 4-dragon Shyvana, you're going to kill this level 18 on with the Elder buff. We do see the Shine Ulti coming in just to hop over just a tiny bit. Meanwhile, Mundo, Syndra, Caitlyn and Janet are ransacking the base of the Submarines. They are just going to sink the ship. And unfortunately for the Elo Submarine, they were so close. But unfortunately, the Kittens look like they're just going to walk through and take game 1.
I don't think there's anything they can do from here, is there?
I mean, Syndra doesn't have form. Yeah, your Lucian Ulti is going to do a bit of damage, but not enough. Shen's just going to get absolutely popped like a pimple. Same with the rest of the team members. And that base will lie in ruins. First blood to the side of the Nessies Kittens. And John, what a match that was to open up today's coverage.
Great game. Great displays by both teams. I think got to shout out the Shiv for those steals. They were just insane. But unfortunately, they just couldn't convert it. They couldn't put the pressure on with those kills to convert it into a win. It's a shame, and that's what we said at the start, is the longer the game goes on, the more on the side of Nessie's Kittens it's going to go.
But yeah, well, we are going to go to a short break, and at that point, we'll see if these submarines can right the ship, or if they're going to get sunk to the bottom of the ocean and stay at the bottom of the table. Hopefully for their sake, we'll get them a win, but the only way to find out is by coming back in a couple of minutes.
We've been waiting all week for Fearless. Lock your picks, it's do or die. Baron calls and towers fall. We'll be laughing when we take it all. It's League of Friends Fearless time.
And we are back. 1-0 to the Nessies Kittens. And John, that was a hell of a close game for the lot of it. I mean, it wasn't until right at the end that we saw the Yellow Submarine. They just kind of lost control a wee bit.
They did.
But Nessie's Kittens didn't have the cleanest of games.
No, they had a run for their money there, I think. Whether they saw it a different way, whether they knew that they just needed to wait it out as long as possible, that's another thing. But yeah, it could have gone either way.
And I think we did think for a long time it was going to go the other way. You know, I was a bit like, oh, okay. But at the end of the
I think
day,
it was down to who got the pick first, wasn't it? And that's what we saw. We saw the Lucian get picked into the Elder Drake being taken, and then yeah, it just went downhill from there.
well, that is just it, and it was really unfortunate. It was really, really unfortunate because they had such a good game up until that point. You know, the Shyvana, some nice steals, including stealing Atakan, which is always a nice feeling when you have that happen to you.
I think 3 steals in total, wasn't it?
Yeah.
2 Drakes and an Atcan.
I mean, that's what you want.
You can't ask any more of your jungler.
Especially early on as a Shyvana. That's when you're your weakest. And yes, she gave her life, but she got the objectives. And, you know, we saw a lot of good vision as well, John. And you're someone who knows all about that, don't we?
I know a little bit about it, just a little bit.
I mean, now, John, like, come on. You don't just know a little bit about it. Season 1, you were Mr. Vision. 215, 2-1-1. But you...
and what I like about that page is that I still have the top score even without Pike. So even without Umbral Glaive, I still get the top vision. So
I'm pretty sure you bought that on Morgana that game.
Umbral Glaive Morgana, imagine.
But it's not just that, you know, it just shows the importance of having this vision. And one thing I was saying...
It's underrated. If you can catch someone out because they don't realize you have vision there, that's going to be a pick, and then that's going to be into a 4v5, and then that's going to take like a Drake or a Baron.
Well, that is exactly to it. If you can get that vision, you control the rift. You control what's going to happen because you know all the information you need. The biggest challenge...
It's not just about placing your vision as well. It's about taking away the enemy vision. Because if they're just going in blind to everything, they're going to make a mistake eventually by face checking a bush that they shouldn't.
And that is the big, big difference. Whereas when we look, I'm just going to try and get this season stats up. We can see how we're doing in terms of vision. Because I believe, if memory serves, the vision is quite good this early in the season. Because we normally see, as the season goes on, it comes up. But here we go. Let me just stretch this. Oh, come on, of course I did. Let me just do that. It's not perfect. I'll try and fix it just now.
Butler with a very healthy vision score there, sitting at the top, 142.
There we go. And that was Cutter when he was guesting for the Meta Cultists.
I think he was just a sub, right?
Yeah, because he's not actually on a team.
That's what I would want to do if I subbed. Come in, set the top vision score, and dip.
Well, that reminds me last season when I ended up. Obviously, I was playing jungle for the majority of the season, and then it came to the playoffs. My team, unfortunately, narrowly missed out. I got asked by Mizu's team, the leader of the Meta Cultists, "Hey, I need a support. Would you want to play?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, might as well." So I get my Rel, I get my Seraphine game, I get the highest assists, and I'm like, great. But the best part was that was the only Seraphine game I played all season, and I somehow managed.
Show everyone how to play Seraphine and then dip.
What it was game one. I was into ML support. I can't remember who I was playing. Horrific game. Don't recommend. New meta. Was it new meta? No, it was. He's recently not in. He's not in the server anymore. Hyper Freaky. Hyper Freaky was on the ML support, and Hyper Freaky rules the game with a nice AP mage on that bot lane. And then obviously game 2, I got my Seraphine, some nasty clips, nasty ults. And game 3, we didn't let them play because I was on the rail. They never got past the bot lane bush.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, me and you have talked about this as well. The Enchanter versus AP support. You're a big fan of that AP support.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's in my eyes, the more damage you can output, the better. Why do you need to heal someone when you can just kill the enemy team faster?
well, that's it, right? You know, it's like the best offense is a great, the best defense is a great offense. Yeah, so going in there, getting all the kills, you stop the healers being able to heal. Problem is,
one day I will get back to Diamond to show I'm not washed. And, I'll do that with my AP supports and my Pike.
Oh yeah. Thing is, though, you've got these supports like your Luxies, like your Zeraths, as obviously one of your mains. Is there any kind of out there supports you like to see, especially with this fearless format? You know, pushing that on for.
I see. I know. I do. The Fiddlesticks support, which obviously was brought out yesterday, maybe 2 days ago. I want that to be a thing more because his kit is just so oriented towards support. You've got unlimited vision with your scarecrows. You've got built-in fear ×2 because you've got your Q and you've got your slash from the bushes. You know, it feels like it should work a lot better than it does, and I'm just not sure. I haven't limit tested it at all, but it's nice to see it. And the Sedge support as well. That was really good.
Yeah, so I like the idea of Sedge support. I like playing Sedge in the jungle when I'm playing. You know, it's one of these champions that's really tanky, and if you have a melee team, is really good. The variations I've seen on it, you play it with a Viego ADC. Like, it is the stupid stuff like that. I personally like it with a Pantheon, with a Neela. Something you want to be bot lane, even the Yasuo. And I tend not to play in the jungle unless I see one of these champions. Yeah, you're okay as a solo champion, you proc it fast enough. But when you got one of these champions, it just gives you so much more.
It's funny you mentioned the Neela because we don't see much of it, do we? You don't. I mean, I never used to see much of her playing in my games, and we don't really see her picked in Fearless.
I saw it in a solo queue yesterday, and I'd rather not have seen it. That kind of sums up my solo queue right now.
But that could mean either thing. That could mean it was a good Neela on your side, and she dominated, or it could be a good Neela on the enemy side.
Oh no, it was a bad Neela. It was just a wrong champion to pick. She just never got to farm, never got any damage. And even with the Sona support, just couldn't do anything. Which meant me as a jungler, I was left like, well, the bot lane's fed. Great.
The bot lane's done. Can't help that.
It didn't help with a few other lanes not winning as well. But it is what it is in that situation. Sometimes you just have to eat what you get given. And yeah, I'd be interested to see what we see the adaptation as we go into this game number 2. Elo Submarines have done a lot of stuff right, especially as the game went on. I just want to see them not get caught out as much.
So we're most likely gonna see the Hui pick this time, aren't we?
You would imagine so, because the Hui was left open after game number 1. I mean, it's one of these picks.
It was banned after game 1.
Yeah.
Game 1, wasn't it?
Banned game 1, so it can't be banned at game 2 due to the League of Friends Fearless rules. So, do you think Jason picks it up, or do you think it's going to go across to the side of the Kittens?
I think Curly's going to pick it up. To be honest, it seems to be a bit of a favorite for him, and yeah, Jason. I mean, it'd be smart for Jason to take it because that would obviously take it away from Curly, and it can't be banned. So
now,
obviously, I think Nessies have first pick, right?
Yeah, no, Nessie's side have got blue. They didn't get the pick. However, it was the side of Elo Submarine that did choose the red, so they're prioritizing this counter pick. You'd have to imagine it's Ryota in the top lane, and because he just couldn't do anything against that one.
No, he couldn't do anything, but they did go even, right? I don't think there was there was never a huge gap between them, so it was more about, I think it came more down to the team fights. And saying that now, did we really see any amazing Chenaults?
No worries. I believe production is telling me we're not going to be too far away. So we're saying this way's going to be a big thing. Who would you have? So say Nessie's getting and say, right, thank you for leaving. Thank you for letting us ban that way and not be stolen game 2. Thanks for giving us blue side. We're just going to take it. What does Jason play into that? Do we see the Zerath?
Oh, I'd love to see it. Jason, if you're watching, show me a Zerath. It's been too long. I haven't played him in ages. I haven't seen him in ages. And if not, take me a Pike mid, I'll take that as well. And I've seen it done before. It does work.
Hey, I've seen Rakan top.
I can't imagine that working.
It does.
Tank, right?
It does, yeah. So, well, we were saying yesterday, Nessie ran AP Rakan, and it worked. You build the Hex Tech, you get to jump in, do some damage. And yeah, hopefully we'll be getting in very, very, very shortly. Final. Oh,
Boom's website does it the wrong way around, doesn't it? It goes top jungle, mid support bot.
I've said this to him.
He's so stubborn about it. He says it makes more sense. I'm like, no, but everywhere else it does bot support.
He's a bot man. He likes having bottom as the kind of carry at the bottom. Saving the best till last. Him and his Tristana. Oh,
it's Caitlyn. That's what I like.
And we're in.
Is
Production has told me we are finally into draft.
What bands are we going to see? Smolder can't be banned either, obviously. So that's probably going to be a prio pick for both sides.
Yeah, we are seeing the Bard getting taken away now. Riku, his name is Magical Journey. And that is named after the Bard passageway, so no surprise to see that getting banned, as we see the Rel getting banned for the side of the Elo Submarines.
Did we see Rel get banned last game?
No, we didn't. Rel was up.
Oh, fair. Lulu banned, good. I don't want to see a Lulu. She's boring to watch.
Yeah, game 1 bans were Hui, Smolder, Ez, Nami, Milio, and then Kane, Kog'Maw, Galio, Karma, and Sit. Now, we haven't touched on this set. that is one of Iota's mains.
Oh, is it?
But
but also Crunkshade plays it as well.
So it'll be interesting to see if that gets traded.
There's a lot of picks that both teams are going to want here, but we're going to see it straight into Hui.
Yeah, I mean, it's a common sense. It's one of Curly's mains. He is one of the best ways in the server, if memory serves. So there's no surprise to see him pilot that, as we do see the Mel come straight out and answer for Jason.
They were very ready for that, weren't they? Very ready for the.
Oh, 100%. You know, they'll have been like, right, we're going to have to go this way. But we're going to see a Belveth. Another scaling
Belveth.
another scaling jungler for Accreate. He done so...
That's good for Elo sub as well, because if they can get those jungle objectives, you know, Belveth's going to be able to stack more with it.
If this Belveth gets a chance to scale, she will run this game. There's no... We've seen what Accreate can do. Accreate can make plays happen. He is the playmaker, or they are the playmaker. I'm not sure the gender, my apologies. But Accreate is one of the carries of their team. The Echo coming out, we're going to imagine...
Echo top?
Wait, what? Is it
Yeah, I'm just as confused as you are.
Is it Mel ADC?
Mel support. It's Mel support.
I think it's Mel ADC. I think that Echo's going into the way. I think
No, you're right. I'm looking at the website wrong again. For God's sake, boom.
I think they flexed it, so they picked it up so they can have it as an answer to the way if they need it. But as soon as they saw this Tristana, they're like, nah. Give me an Echo. You can have that bot side to reflect the bunker shot. As we see the Nami coming out, what looks like for the side of Yellow Submarine.
Nami, Mel, bot side.
I'm concerned with the lack of AD here. Yes, she's got the Belveth, who will be doing a lot of attack damage and auto attacks. It's not going to be enough though, I feel. With this Tristana, this Way, this Jarvan, and Gragas, they've got a lot of entry. And Nessie on the Sona, just to back them up. And there's the set. Thoughts? Concerns? Opinions?
I have concerns about Elo sub's bot lane. Yeah, I don't know if... I haven't seen enough Mel, to be fair. When Mel came out is pretty much when I sort of petered off playing League. So I think I've played against her twice. But does she have... No, are they not swapping?
No, they are. They're just not in position. Elo Submarines. You've sunk your ship before you even started with me. So it is Snowfall on the ADC on the Mel. It creates on the jungle with Belveth. Jasomat is on the Echo. Riku is on the Nami. And Iota is on his set.
Is that going to screw up Blue Ball?
Yes. So
Rip.
ignore the gold graphs. They're not even anywhere close. Where the game...
So do you go into games beforehand and say, hey guys, can you all do this please for me?
I have it copied and pasted. Like, make sure you're in order. Can you replicate the draft? Nobody ever replies.
Yeah.
And then I'll get...
Yeah, that's fine.
And then I'll be midway through and I'm like, that wasn't in the script. Oh yeah, they didn't have this. I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. But it is the nature of the fact League doesn't have every champ available as much as I wish they would in the tournament.
It's just like, it's a custom game mode. Just give us all the champs so that we don't have to go through this draft lol rubbish. And also don't give us spectator delay, you know?
I mean, it works out quite nicely because, you know, it gives us an idea of when the game's going to finish as well. So production can get organised.
Who's your money on then for this game?
I just think Kittens have their comp is so much easier to execute. I just don't see past it. I just genuinely don't see how the side of Elo Submarine are going to look to, unless this Belveth gets giga fed. I just don't see. I don't see the answer.
If the Echo gets strong as well, he can one shot. Way, Tristana, Sona.
Yeah. The problem is we have seen this Echo get caught, this Jason get caught out so often, even in that last game. We need to see him just play a bit safer. Just work on the basics. You know, this might be middle bracket, but sometimes just being aware of where your team is can make all that difference. And just means when
it was Jaso on.
He's on the Echo,
team, right?
Yeah, he was he was the Diana.
Oh Oh, so he's already broken his full fearless, or is this already updated? I wonder.
I'm not sure. We didn't get to see their game one of their series one due to a
Oh no,
clash.
it has. It's already updated. So he's still going full fearless for now.
I mean, at this point, you might as well. And we do have an announcement to make after the streams are finished. So make sure you keep an eye on the Twitch when that happens. Although they are 12 minutes ahead of us in game. So I'm praying that they drag that game on. Or it goes to a 3-game series. That's what I am hoping for. But we'll wait and see. Right now it's 2 kills to 1 in favour of Nessies Esports. This time though the 2 kills are on the jungler rather than top laner. And actually all the kills are on jungles.
Oh yeah, 2 on Warwick and 1 on Kane.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how that game plays out. But right now we are getting into our game number 2, folks. As we load back onto everyone's favourite Summoners Rift. Such a beautiful sight, this Spirit Blossom map, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really nice. I definitely prefer it to the previous one.
So we've had Noxious. We're now in Ionia. Yeah, Ionia, the Ionian Spirit Blossoms. Where do we think we go next in the next season?
Oh, you're asking the wrong person. The lore. My lore knowledge is garbage for League. I could name, but I can't even name where Arcane.
So Arcane was Piltover and Zon.
Piltover. You've got to think that's where they're doing the last one, surely.
I don't know. I think we could be going to Shurima because obviously a lot of this is teasing release of the new champion, Yunara. All we know is that they're going to be a marksman. I don't know much more than that. Although there's been links with a Darkin weapon because that's why Vlad and LeBlanc have gone in to Ionia and Mel's gone to kind of investigate as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Or we could be going to the Freljord. Meet up with Trundle.
Freljord would be cool. I'd like an icy themed map. That'd be very good.
To be fair, I think they're saving that for Christmas because everyone is in the League community has been asking, can we get a Christmas map? And it never happens.
And you think it will this year?
I think if they're going to do it, this is the year. And when we see the runes here, John, is there anything that stands out? Now just remember the Bel'Veth is jungle, the Echo's mid lane, the Mel's bot lane, the Nami support in the set is in the top.
I think that all looks okay, right?
The only one I would change is the secondaries on Sonar. I would be taking some form. I would take Font of Life and Revitalize it. Although we do see Tristana already jumping in. Boom would be really proud of this, but doesn't quite get much more. You know, she's got the Revitalize for the shields. But as Sona, you wanting to slow people, Font of Life could be such a great thing for this Tristana to have. Instead, you're just making yourself more tanky. Not really the support's mindset, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. But that's the perfect play there for Tristana. Gets the level 2, goes straight in. Oh my god, maybe not this one though. I don't know.
I mean, Kanojo's showing absolutely no fear. The bombs are going off. Yeah. Michael Jordan takes a trade as well, but they are just going to back away.
They are.
They'll take that.
They're playing this aggressive, and I love it.
Talking of playing aggressive, Jason going right onto Hwei. The Time Winder comes out. Doesn't quite get enough. There's enough damage. Gets the Dark Harvest stack. Hwei is going to trade back. He's got plenty of mana. Meanwhile, in this bot lane, we see Kanojo jumping about. But we'll just eat the arcane effects of the Mel.
Yeah. So I think Kanojo's playing this really well because obviously he knows that once the Mel has burnt her spells, that's it. She's got nothing left. She can auto and Nami can auto, but it's not really going to do much. Whereas Kanojo's autos are going to be a lot more damaging.
Well, that's just it. I mean, we see a massive gold lead already between the Gragas and the Bel'Veth. You know, a lead for the Jarvan over the Echo. And that Tristana, the Nami ADC, has got such a lead early on. But surprisingly, Set's not got that big a lead compared to the Sona, though. And this may be why, because we see Crunksy being able to push right up, as Acreate is already setting his sights on this bot lane, but so is Snoop in the back line, forcing Riku away. Tristana will get that first blood with the bunker bombs, as Acreate looks set to follow the ADC. Nessie will survive, but Snoop will kill steal there from the Tristana. He tells her to be happy. And if you're the side of the Kittens, that's the only thing you are right now.
That is huge. They thought they played that so perfectly. They ran away from the jungler as though it's like, oh no, you got me, call an ambulance. And then he turned around, not for me though.
Yeah, that was a
shield by Sona there. Huge.
Absolutely great play. Although we see the flash coming in, and Jason will just pick up the Sona. A lot invested just for Sona. That was flash invested. Although he is going to look, trying to think about Kanoja, but Kanoja will just fly away. Yeah, you get the kill back on the Sona, but you burnt your flash for support. That was probably going to die either way.
Puts you one closer to their feet though, doesn't it? So.
Well, it's their first kill on the board. And now he doesn't have that escape tool.
Yeah, but he's got his dash, so he shouldn't need it against the Hui as much. He's got a mobility compared to Hui, hasn't he?
Well, that's just it. Yeah, that's the big thing. Hui's fairly mobile. Echo isn't. And I'm intrigued to see how Jason uses that. You know, that big R, which can change a fight, and we've seen it change many a fight in the past.
I think we do see the Echo. I think the Echo did just go to 6. So again, he's got another escape tool there. So his flash not hugely necessary.
No, but it's always nicer to have. Meanwhile, we do say, "Oh, Iota, what are you doing? Yes, you've got that face breaker, but it's not enough." He's now going to have to back off, and Gragas is going to have utter control of this lane now. You know, he's able to push this wave right in, deny all that farm to Iota, and Iota doesn't even have TP to get back to lane. And that is a slow walk back to top lane. They create, taking a bit of damage. Another quite reserved start to this game from both sides.
Yeah. But obviously this game less scaling focused. Both sides have some champs that are really strong late game, the Tristana, the Bel'Veth. But other than that, I think it should just come down to sort of team play.
Now, I'm intrigued to see how quickly this dragon gets taken, because in the lower bracket game that's happening right now, they didn't take a dragon until 20 minutes in. I mean, once Crunksy and Iota fighting out, I mean, these two have just been brawling this whole series. And they're going to dance around the dragon themselves in this game. It's like, oh, there's no Shyvana, there's no pressure on dragon, although Jason is taking a lot of damage from Snoop. We'll get the side, I think it's Time Wind. I don't know his abilities.
Reflect with the Mel as well. Of the Tristana bomb.
Now, see, is it better to reflect the bomb or reflect Tristana's ult?
Oh, I think the bomb, because that's her whole cooldown, isn't it? So if she gets 4 hits with the bomb, it explodes.
And here we go. We see a jumping on.
Jump again.
You know, she can't even get in range.
So
but it creates up the top side. And yeah, there's just nothing they can do. It's Streets of Warfare to the side of Nessie's Kittens. And Riku's left just defending this bot tower alone. And that should just be 3 grubs, but nobody has taken a dragon.
I'm not bothered by it.
But yeah, you got Drake. Who needs a Drake? Iota using his W on the wave. Will then out this Gragas towards his tower, but he's not close enough to really take advantage of it. The kegs are coming out. Curly's here as well. Curly will do... Oh my god, the range of Hui always annoys me. I remember when that champ first came out, I just had to ban him because I was playing myself in mid lane arc. And the range Hui has and the amount of different spells and abilities, it's just hard to keep track of.
It's just I mean, it's just not fair, is it? He's every other champ is stuck with 4 abilities. He's got like 10.
Yeah, something like that. And yeah, blue side Kittens are just going to take up Grubs, and they're not even going to trade it for that Hectic Drake. And yeah, we see Kanojo going in right onto Snowfall. Snowfall does use her flip, but unfortunately, she's just going to fall. This Tristana is scary.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. The Mel, I just don't think she's got enough damage. The Tristana just can continually jump on her, knowing that the Mel's got nothing.
Problem is, what do you play into Kanojo? Because Kanojo was shown even on last game, where yeah, Lucian was fed, but so were they. And now, you know, you're on this Tristana who will literally eat this tower for breakfast. Like, what?
Ooh, that's a great stun there by the Nami.
What could you even pick into this?
There are a lot of great picks into Tristana, aren't there?
I would love to have seen a Rel, although the Rel got banned. Did Poppy get banned this game? I think she did. I'd just like to see something that can cancel that damage. I would love to see a Talia.
Been great.
I'd love to see a Talia support or a Talia jungle, though we do see here, actually, it's going to get caught out. Although nobody's going to really chase too hard to follow him. In the top lane, we do see Krunk taking a lot of control now. You know, 62 to 75 in favour of this Gragas. As finally, the dance does take them towards the dragon. Let's see if Acreate can do one of their magic steals from last season. Last match, sorry. They are going to know he's in the area. Snoop's going to try and zone him with a Jarvan. QE. Doesn't quite get much. The dragon is still up. Then double bombs come, and there is it! Ooh, J4 just gets it. Now let's see if they can turn the fight. Acreate does get the kill, but doesn't get the reset though. Meanwhile, Tristana, well, Jason Matt should be the next to fall. The Nami bubble saves his life, and Mel gets a kill. A kill for Echo as well. Double kill, in fact. And now Curly's the one fighting for his life. Reflect comes out. Meanwhile, top lane, the cast knocks Iota back into the waiting arms of this Gragas. The flash. Everyone's just flashing. And yeah, they're just going to flash away. A lot of damage done. Again, these top laners, nobody's going to die.
They both play it so well. Although I think the set might be overstaged a little bit here. Oh, no, maybe not. Oh,
nicely done, Viola. Showing his knowledge of his champion, but Snoop's walking up to try and repay the favour of his top laner. He's looking for that flag and drag, decides to just push the wave instead. Put the pressure, but Belveth is here. Snoop is now the one who's caught out.
He should just want to jump out here, surely.
Yeah, should see a flag drag any minute now. You want to see Magical Journey get spotted out on Vision, and wee bit of support or combat between the Sona and the Nami. What do you think, Elo Submarine? How do they win this? You know, we see it's quite even in gold right now. Kills are fairly even. Like, what's their secret to success here?
I think with the Echo already being on 3 kills now, you carry on trying to funnel gold into him so that he can just one-shot the Tristana. And then that's pretty much your win condition, isn't it? Because
it has to be.
You let this Tristana get much bigger, and she's going to be a huge problem.
That is it.
So yeah, just a lot of roams coming from the Echo is what we want to see here. Nami clearing off the Vision so that he can come down. Oh, and we're going into a fight here.
Yeah, we see a lot of action here. You know, Acreate, Magical Journey as well. A lot of damage. Acreate will fall to Snoop. Magical Journey will fall to Kanojo. And Snowfall looks set to follow. They're just not getting the fights they need. Which is a shame.
Lots. And the Echo was there as well. The Echo was hanging around.
Yeah, I mean, Jason Man's going to get a lot of damage onto this way. Jason Man, unfortunately, the fear comes out, but he will get a shutdown on Curly's way.
Huge.
This is what we want to see from Jason. You know, he was masterful in the lower elo last season, but he's not had the rub of the green this season. So we want to see more plays like that, showing, you know, validating his placement in this mid bracket, because we all know he can do it, and plays like that just show exactly that.
I was about to say, I'm surprised they're backing off that now, but yeah, of course the Mel's got TP.
And here we see Jason Iota, they're looking. Fortunately, nothing quite comes from it. He'll get the shield from that ability. Crunksaid's hanging about. He's just going to let him get out. But that's big for the side of the Submarines, who are back even on kills. Oh, nearly. But back even on kills, and now only about 2k down on the Kittens. And I can't even tell you who's up in gold because the graphs are a bit scuffed. But I can tell you the team graphs, and we see Kittens have held it fairly steady. Yeah, we had that 500 gold fluctuation between the kills, but there's been nothing crazy. And it's always been quite comfy for them.
The Submarines are they're keeping it.
They're keeping it honest.
Bleeding a little bit though, aren't they?
They're keeping it honest right now, and that's what we want to see.
They're not letting the Kittens run away with the game.
And that's how they have to play it.
That was support versus support there.
So, you gotta love a bit of support of combat, you know. Talking of combat, we see Kanoja jumping right in, and we see Iota fighting Crunksaid, although difference is Iota has a 4-man squad on him. And even though he's set who wants to take some grit, yeah, there's only one thing eating, and that is absolute dirt in that top lane.
And perfect fear there by Curly, because that prevented the set from getting a big shield and doing a lot of damage to the side of the Submarines. But we see the first tower fall as well, and is that going to be Feats?
I do believe that is Feats, yes. Feats for the side of the Kittens.
And they are running away with this game now.
I mean, for Elo Submarine, you need something to get back in. Yeah, you get that Drake. I don't think that's quite enough. I think you need more. You need to start getting some picks, utilizing this pressure that Jason has. You know, he is probably one of their best so far in this game.
Yeah, the Kittens are just playing a really good team game though. They're not letting anyone get picks on them. They're always sort of together. They've got backup ready. They're not over pushing. Yeah, just in general, the team plays really, really well.
I was about to say, you know, not so good game on vision from the side of Elo Submarines, but then I saw it's the set who's got 7 vision. The Nami's got 32. And actually a really good game so far. You know, almost ahead by 10. Although Jason Matt's looking in on Nessie as we're just praising them for their vision. Didn't quite see that, although Jason has to ulti out of there. However, we'll take a bomb to the face, but it does look like Nessie will fall to Jason. Jason now has to back out as Kanojo is jumping in, and the bombs are raining down.
You've got to think the Elo Submarines win this overall.
No, it's the Kittens. Oh, no, maybe. That was big. As soon as that, you know, Tristana wasn't able to continue with the fight. You know, some great play. Yeah, you lost your Fed player. But that would have helped him some gold. And that could be big as this game continues. So, we were saying they needed a win. That's a step in the right way. Not only was that some gold, it's maybe not stemming the bleeding, but it stopped it getting any worse.
We just need some more of that. We need some more team fights. Just, you know, stick as a team when you can. Don't engage unless you've got all of your team there. Like right now, we could, you know, Belveth could come down. They could try and catch Crunksaid out.
And I mean, we've got
to play it safe.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to talk about as well, you know, the subs, they haven't had the perfect start to the season. You know, they've had some challenges, and we've seen that. You know, there's teams in every division who have faced some challenges, and the beauty of Fearless, it's how you get yourself out of that. But I like how Jason's staying true to his identity as Mr. Fearless, though. I do really like that.
I like that as well.
Although we do see Kanojo needs to really take up his Shelly license again, because that's just half a health bar of the Herald wasted.
Yeah, and with where it was, do you think they just smash it straight down mid?
Well, that's it, straight up Broadway, and see where it leads you. Instead, I think it got its second charge, but that's about it. But yeah, the vision denial now. We said from Nessie she was a bit behind on the vision charts, but she's back. Oh, the Sona is back. That was Jason's just going to go right in on this way. Will get feared and ulted. Although he almost took it to Riku, but the Sona ulti does come out. Doesn't quite hit, but the double bubble will land from this Nami and the tidal wave. Problem is there's nobody to follow up, and Jason it's been a rock and a hard place.
Wants that way.
Almost with a Duke with the ult, but unfortunately Will just pay his life. And now we see the Tristana jumping in onto Magical Journey. And now it's Snowfall's turn, and the Tristana gets the reset. She's looking in. The bunker shot comes in, but the Mel will pick up the kill. And now Acreate is looking on this backside of the fight to try and turn it onto this Jarvan, but J4 will just escape with the help of his Sona.
These shields from the Sona are actually huge right now.
I'm just sad it's not shotgun Sona.
What is shotgun Sona?
So it used to be back in the day, you take Lich Bane and you'd basically just run on hit Sona. Because you're casting your ability so much, you just do so much damage. Just like Spear Sojourn, I believe, your Lich Bane. It was just so overpowered. I mean, see, Iota, talking of overpowered champions, this way is starting to actually do some damage. And coupled with a Gragas, yeah, I don't think Iota gets out of this, even with a grit and that shield. Will survive for now, but that's just a free kill for this way.
Look at Curly, he just doesn't miss. I think he hit every skill shot there.
Well, that's just it. Meanwhile, we see Crunk said he's going to get jumped on by 3 members. And this is what they need to do. Knockups galore. Crunk said gets his Arctic wear a bit wet with a tidal wave, but the problem is there's just no damage. They have no damage. You know, the way out comes in. That is a lot of damage. Akri almost brings it on to Jasomat, although Jasomat is the only one who is doing damage. Outs away from the tower. And now they're going to set the sights onto this Gragas. Could they be doing something with this wave in this topside tower, John?
It's going to be so close. I think they're going to back off now. Oh, but Nami does hit the bubble. And the Echo does get the kill. Huge. And this is what I'm saying. This Echo is going to be able to one-shot all these champs if he can get fed enough.
Problem is, and the big problem with that is, you trade this tower. You might even get this tower, but you trade all of that time, all of those ults. And you're still going to lose on the map because you lost the Atakan. And as we said earlier, the Atakan is actually huge right now.
This tower though, or are they going to be overstaying slightly here?
And we are seeing Jason take a lot of damage, and Magical Journey, Riku will just fall out from the Jarvan ulti. And now they have to back off. Welcome viewers, if you are joining us from the other series where we did see the Shetland Super Server unfortunately fall to 2-0 defeat to Nessies Esports. You're joining us here in game number 2. We are seeing the side of Nessies Kittens take a commanding 3k gold lead against the ELO Submarines. Not the Patrol, the Submarines, as the icon as different to what the icon suggests. We're 23 minutes in, 2 dragons have been taken for the side of the Kittens, and 1 for the Submarines. And John, ELO Subs, they need something to happen, and it has to come through this mid lane.
Does the Echo? I need to see a Medjai's on him or a Dark Seal to really start snowballing.
I'm surprised we haven't seen it as of yet because he's been getting kills. You know, Jason's having one of the best games we've seen him all season on this Echo. Would you say you're getting knocked?
That ring.
Yeah, he gets knocked up as we see it. We see Iota going in with the ulti, trying to get himself out. Although Crunkside and Nessie will just get stuns. Meanwhile, the bubble goes wide from the Nami, and now the Kittens will have full control over this Drake, which is due to spawn. Oh, it's not even spawning for 2.5 minutes. Come on, guys. Why are we fighting around this objective when there's nothing spawning? The Atakan has gone. We are fighting around the jungle when nothing is happening.
These guys are just all bloodthirsty right now. Iota is a little bit safe here. He knows that Crunkside hasn't got his ult. He'll be able to pull him back. But again, the top laners are just going pretty even. Not really. There's no real difference between the two of them.
Well, that is just it.
We do see the hull breaker on this set. That surprised me.
I mean, that's a
but
bit interesting. He gets the tower, but he's going to eat a way out to the face. But thanks to that shield from the W, he will survive and will dodge. That's quite good for Set. He gets a bit of money in his pocket, and he desperately needs it, even though he has got a 2k goal lead against the Sona. Although his team is
coming out as well here. They know the set's on the bot side. Quay's TPing up top.
And here we go. The knockup comes.
Oh, Baron here.
I think they have to. Like, they need to start using this advantage because Baron is out, and they are just going to get a lot of damage onto this Belveth. But thanks to Nami, she survives. All the EQ from the Jarving will get into the back line. The J4 ult does come out, although it'll be traded back for the set ult. The Mel ult does come out, doesn't pick out. No, we see Nessie slaying Iota. We see there's a double kill. Soda gets a double kill. The Tristana will pick up the ace with the Curly getting one on the backside as well. You've got to imagine that's going to be Baron. And the next thing to fall will be the base of the Submarines.
It's a clean ace. No one died from the side of the Kittens.
And look at this Tristana.
I'm not even going to bother with this Baron. I'm just going to go straight base.
Well, they've got plenty of time to take this Baron because, you know, Belveth isn't up for 8 seconds. And even if she does try to steal, she's got a Tristana absolutely demolishing this mid base. You know, the time that they defense are getting now, these minions will be empowered for the Tristana to be able to absolutely bully more, especially now her team's back up.
And I don't know what went wrong there for the side of the other submarines.
I think with their comp, they needed this Belveth to be more of a presence on the map. She's only got 56 stacks. Really, I don't know much about Belveth, but it's not until you hit the 70-80 mark that becomes a real threat. And now there's going to have complete unfettered access to this dragon, which I believe is Soul Point.
And what's worse is the Echo's not even there. The Echo doesn't even have TP. He's just in top lane. The rest of the submarine have to just back out of here. You can't fight without the Echo.
Now that is just it. I mean, they are just going to pick up that objective, and that will not. That'll be Soul Point because they took so long on that first dragon. We are still only on Soul Point. That's 3 dragons now for the side of the Kittens, opposed to the 1.
Just got pointed out in chat, but yeah, that one of the main things that went wrong in that last team fight is that the set is getting feared at the perfect time, meaning that he can't get a shield and he can't deal all that damage.
And here we go. Look at the siege down this bot side of the map. Echo is in the enemy top side jungle trying to get some farm of anything. So when he comes back, he can do anything. I just don't know he has a base to come back to, though. As we see this roving death squad, you don't need Curly's way to end the game. Curly does not even have TP to join in. But look at that damage and how much they blew up that bot side of the map.
Yeah, now they're just going to set their sights on top lane and...
Curly's already pushing that in. You know, we're 4 minutes from Baron, just over 4 minutes, under 4 minutes for Soul Point. For the Kittens, it's been a perfectly executed game once we got to mid-game.
Yep, and now they might catch out the Belveth here. You've got to think one more One more catch out, and that'll be game.
And here we go. The set out. It comes out nice and early, but A-Create just doesn't get to play the game. Tristana just says hi, R button. I doesn't even need the R button. Just says hi, bye. And she is just out the fight. Meanwhile, we are going to see them. They are going to clear the way for the Mel and the Nami. However, the Nami out is gone. The EQ'd off from the Java and we'll get right in onto the back line. And that is just another 2 members down for the Submarines. The ship is well and truly sinking, folks. And it is the Kittens who have got their claws out. And they're looking to take their second 2-0 of Fearless Season 3.
Oh my God.
They have only dropped 1 map so far this season. And they're going to continue that. They don't have a health bar anymore. Crunkside can't even die to that Fountain and John. What a series in the end. And utter devastation from the Kittens in the end.
Great play by Nessies Kittens there. Unfortunate from either sub. They played a great game both times. But yeah, I think the Tristana was just too ahead by that point. She could just one-shot basically any of them. She gets her bomb on you, a couple more shots, and that's it. You're dead. You don't get to play.
And yeah, so obviously, unfortunately, Slugger's internet did die just at the end. So I'm going to put a wee announcement out before we make our announcement. Because we have some news regarding, I believe, the playoffs. We're going to wait until we get more people in here. Happening RE mid and lower bracket in YouTube. But yeah, an absolutely great series for the side of the Kittens. And hopefully we can get Nessie up here for a wee interview. Because they absolutely dominated this series in the end.
They did a really good game both times. And like you say, they're just putting on performance in each game. Really fun to watch.
I mean, who was your MVP of that series, John? Because I could make an argument for any one of them.
Oh. I think, again, special shout out has to go to the Shiv in the first game for all the steals. Like, that was just great play, great to watch. And then, I think it's got to be the Tristana for me.
Hello.
Welcome.
Nessie's gone, so I'm here for
Well played, Snoop. I mean, talk us through that series.
Game one was a bit shaky because I kept getting outsmarted.
Right. You know, right. Let's just on that, since you brought it up. Those Shyvana steals.
Bro, I don't know. I feel like my bomb was just better than mine.
It was
I don't know what's going on.
I think it was the 4th Drake. She had to go for a blind steal at one point, and she was so close to getting it. It was
I know she was really
close
fast
to watch.
That's a good sign. I respect it.
Have to give a big shout out there. A-Create tried their best, especially in game 1. I mean, I thought for a moment you guys were on the ropes, but you guys managed to just kind of corral, and it seems your kind of team chemistry is just there right now.
We have played a lot. Like, me and Curly run duels pretty much every week, and then we also run flex nearly every day, I think, at this point.
And I've got to ask, did Crunkside and Iota have a bro lane deal?
I don't think so.
Because it
kind of chill. But...
Yeah, because like every 2 minutes they were just cuddling up in that top lane. Nobody could do any damage.
I mean, yeah, he does go with his tanks, so he can just weak side him and he doesn't die. We like it.
But that's it. I mean, obviously this season you guys have just been... It's just been kind of insane. You had a kind of rough start to the season. I'm sure I remember rightly, you reverse sweeped your first series. But ever since then, you've been on a tear.
Yeah, we've got 2 2-0s back to back now. Hopefully we can keep this up and win lower bracket by points and maybe finals.
Well, that's just it. It's kind of put you in the driving seat. And that's...
I think we have a good chance. But
is there anyone you're kind of... Love. Is there anyone you're worried about?
Yeah, NA with Love is a tough team, I think. But I think we can do it. I trust my bot lane to carry me.
Well, let's talk about that. But I mean, they were, Kanojo he's so impressive, especially on this Tristana,
I mean,
as we
to be
saw.
honest, he's really impressed me because he started off this series as a Kog'Maw one trick, and now he's got like 6 different champs he can play, and he's doing good on all of them constantly.
He
That's-
played that matchup against Mel perfectly. He just didn't
Yeah.
even give her a chance to do
No,
anything.
He literally picked up Tristana like 5 days ago, just for the mill. Or
That's
Smolder.
really, really
We've realised
impressive.
that a lot of people are trying to take Smolder from us now as well. So we had Tristana. But he has just been picking up these champs very last minute. And he's doing wonders on it.
Well, that is just it, and it's been really quite impressive as they've seen you guys kind of blossom. So obviously, scared of any with love. Is there any other teams you're kind of concerned about?
Or do you think? It was
or
originally Team 7 that they look very strong. I forgot. Lost Cause.
Lost Cause. Yeah, I mean they had a rough
Yeah,
week
yeah.
too, going against NA with love, but there was a
Yeah,
lot of
but-
positives there.
I mean, Varel, he won upper bracket last season, so like, you have some respect to him, obviously. And then they just have strong bot lane. Their jungler looks pretty scary for me.
Mahazavara,
Shampoo has
yeah.
a lot of pink. Yeah, Shampoo has a lot of pink counters, so
It'll be
I'll be picking it that week.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Sunday goes when they face off against Assassinino, because I know Mahazavara and Day Zero, they do know each other very well. So if you're going to get any chance to do some recon before that matchup, that's the perfect time.
Yeah, we do actually face them next week, so that'll be.
Oh, the next week you face nice.
Yeah.
So you get some nice
that'll be pretty fun. Yeah.
live information. And since I've got you here, and since obviously the view count is going up, I'm going to reveal the announcement. So you might have seen
Okay.
teased. We kind of teased. I don't know if Slugger managed to tease it on Twitch before his Wi-Fi
I haven't
crashed.
seen that stuff.
But we as the organisers, John, we've been discussing things, haven't we, behind the scenes about playoffs.
Playoffs.
Yeah.
What do
So
you mean by playoffs?
we've seen the lower bracket and we've seen the community reaction to it being a top 6 format. I can confirm today that the upper and middle brackets are being extended in the playoffs. There'll be an extra week of playoffs now. So the top 2 teams in each division will be seeded straight through to the semi-finals. Meaning,
Upper bracket versus lower brackets.
no.
Oh, okay.
So basically,
That's scary.
so right now, if we look at, let me just see, have I got the, let me just change this. Have you finished your game on the client, on the bot? No, you haven't. Can you just hit,
No, it's Nessie that has to do it. He's the captain.
let me see
Nothing
if I can do that just now quickly, just so I can show you the up-to-date table. So we can see you guys sitting at the top with
I
your...
pressed finish, but you won. Okay, yeah, I've done it now.
Yep, perfect. So, if we look at the current standings, obviously Kittens are at the top with NA with Love in second place. As it stands at the moment, those 2 teams will be seeded directly through to the semi-finals, where you would see Assassinino Cappuccino face off against the Metacultists, whereas the Lost Cause team will face off against the Albanian Super Server. Now, we have a long way to go before we get there, but it just opens up. Instead of it being the top 4, it allows these teams in the lower half of the table who've had a rough start, especially with how close the middle and upper brackets are, to see
So
can
between the top 6 teams. instead
top
of the
6
4.
teams. Yeah.
Okay. I like
But
that.
but the beauty is, if you are the top seed, you will have side selection throughout the finals.
What,
so
like,
If
even
you get...
you win game 1.
No, just in game 1.
Oh, okay.
So say, for example,
That'd be unfair.
so say for the situation, the Kittens start right now, and the final started today, you guys were top of the table, you get your side selection in your semi-final. Okay, you win that against, let's say, Albanian Super Server, who win their match. You win against them. You then, because you're the number 1 seed, you get side selection in the final.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
So it's a reward for having such a good regular season. Whereas if you're, that 6th team in, yeah, you're in with a shot, but you gotta run a gauntlet, and it's going to be a hell of a gauntlet. But we've seen teams do it. and that is the beauty of it. So yeah, so that's going to be rolled out across both the middle, lower, and upper divisions. But not only that,
So
guys.
just needs to drop 2 every week.
Yeah.
Right.
But not only that, John, it means we get another week of Fearless added on, which I'm sure everyone will want.
I love it. I love just having Fearless on and watching what's going down.
Snoops, what's your initial reaction to that?
I like the sound of that because the plan's to win the whole thing, and we have some picks that we like to have side selection for because we can plan our drafts better. But I can't leak what they are, obviously. So
Well, that's exactly it. But that's the benefit of you know, if you have a really good regular season, is you get that ability to plan and play the game one at least, how you want to. So then you can theoretically plan your series because you know realistically but yeah, so only time will tell. Well, guys, thank you very much, Snoop. Thank you for joining us, John.
all right.
Thank you.
for having me on here.
Obviously, we're going to put a
My
proper
pleasure.
announcement out in the announcement channel very shortly. But for now, I've been Chuba.